So, good morning, Matesh. How you doing?
Good morning, Stephen. Very good, thank you. You?
Good, good. So, we're here today to look at cloud cost optimization. It's both something Peruzzi Solutions and LA do. And we start slightly do it at different ways, but I think here today is a good way to talk about, the approach and why do you do a cloud cost optimization engagement. So, maybe Matesh, you want to talk about what it is and why customers do it?
Yeah, so the cloud cost optimization work that we do tends to happen when customers are starting using the Azure platform, and they want to try and get a better handle on their costs. Maybe their costs are going out of control, or they're just spending more than they want to or they need to. They know they need to do something, but they don't always understand, where are the easy areas where they can save money. So in a lot of cases, the customers' environments have grown organically. There's been new solutions put in by different teams. Not sometimes it, and they've been done quickly as well. So they've got a requirement to put the solution in. They've not really had a chance to look at all the best practices and things that specialists might do. So some of that gets missed out, and some of those best practices are kind of looking at the cost optimization and monitoring of that cost every month and seeing what's where the spend is going. And what we do is we kind of do a review and look at where costs can be saved immediately, usually straight away, and then a long-term plan of sometimes things have to change, might need some re-architecture and so introducing new systems to make it a lot more cost efficient on the long run. Yeah, so there's a lot of scenarios, and it's usually just the common scenario is it's organic growth in the platform and organic usage without really looking at the costs so much.
Yeah, I mean, we've worked
And
previously before on this, and it's been interesting that we see similarities across the teams. So the dev teams
yeah,
build an application and they just then release it into Azure without really understanding what the impact's going to be from a cost perspective. So when
yeah,
we do an engagement to look at cost optimization, we really review the application from that perspective. Is it running effectively? Is it running is it reduced service overnight, etc.? All these component points that sometimes development teams just forget to do,
yeah.
and that can cause your cost and spend to increase, which is not always the great best thing for your teams
No,
in the long run.
no, exactly. What you tend to find is developers are brilliant at developing. They'll make an application. What they're interested in, which is rightly so, is does that application work? Does it do what
Yeah,
it needs to do? And that's great. And it kind of and it generally does, right? So especially if your team are doing it, obviously it's going to work. But typically in a customer environment where you'll find that the application works, but they've not really looked at cost, they've not looked at security, and special and one of the biggest areas is database optimization. So they'll create a database, but they're not necessarily DBAs. They don't understand all the things that go into database performance. So and then you tend to see oversized databases just to
yeah.
cope with the database design. So if a database is optimized, you could generally run that database a lot smaller, a lot less resources than you can from a database that hasn't been optimized. And that starts from the design of the database, the queries, how is those queries running, and also housekeeping on that database. Are you retaining all the data? Are you re-indexing? Are you, updating statistics and those kind of things? Those all contribute to, increasing your cost because you have to increase the horsepower to run those things just because of them not being optimized. And that's a
I
really
mean,
common thing.
it's amazing the kind of savings you can get when you do those small incremental
Huge,
optimizations. I mean, we've
huge.
seen 40% savings for some of our customers
Yeah,
just by going through that right sizing exercise, and people forget to do it on a sort of regular
yeah,
basis. And that's,
yeah,
that is needs to be part of the culture of your team. Sort of review the
yeah.
spend that you're on there, and is it optimal? It's just not something done today.
Yeah, exactly. There's many gotchas as well in the platform. So yeah, you'll say you want a VM or a database. The default settings are not always the right ones for you. So for a dev database, if you're just testing something out, the default sometimes can be like the vCore Gen 2, whatever it's called, the latest one, which is about £300, $300 a month, where all you need
Yeah,
is a $5, $10 database. So I see that all the time. I'll go into a customer environment, oh, costs are high. Let's have a look at your databases, and you can see all the defaults are in there. Who's using them? Nobody. They've been spending 300, 400 quid on a database, or several databases in many cases, and nobody's using them. So there's a massive saving just straight away right there, just on little things like that.
So to tell me a little bit what your engagement looks like with your customers and how
Yeah.
that plays out.
Yeah, so initially we do a quick review. That doesn't cost anything. We'll do a review over the phone. We'll generally, or on Teams these days. We don't do people use phones anymore? I don't know. So
I think
we'll
so.
do a quick review, and yeah, we'll generally be able to get an idea of what some of the pain points the customer's going. We've generally seen it before, and we can usually spot a couple of areas. They can identify a couple of areas straight away. So right, you need to change this or do that, and you're going to reduce your cost straight away. And then what we can do is go a more detail. We generally do a 2-day review. So basically, we do a day of looking at the environment in a bit more detail. We look at all the metrics, look at all the options available, and some of the tools, and where your costs are actually going, and then play back. Where we think we can save money. There's so many areas and so many things we can do to save costs, and then we do the remediation for them if they need to, and manage it going forward. Where we keep an eye on things like cost, compliance, security, and all those things on a monthly basis, and that kind of just works well along team, kind of just become part of the an extended team for the customer that can rely on us to keep an eye on those things for them.
And our engagement is slightly different to that because we're focusing more on the application. So, if you've written an application for the cloud, basically we'll come along, we'll review that cloud application and see where we can optimize it specifically for spend on Azure. We'll look at application patterns. So when's it being used? When's it not being used, which is really important. So we can scale it down, maybe scale it up as it comes online and automate that. So that's a very useful sort of trick to get the cost in line, but we'll also do some of the same stuff that you're doing, is looking at database, etc., and
Yeah.
seeing where there may be some easy wins, and we'll write that up for you, and then give you a report on that. And then if we need us to engage to help you reduce the spend on your application, we can do that as well for you from the development team.
And it's good that we kind of cross over in those similar ways as well. We've got the same kind of processes and steps. So whereas you guys look at the environment from the application development perspective, we look at it from the infrastructure side. So we got our own checklists and process and steps that we go through to come out at the end of it with a good set of recommendations, remediation plans, and generally we'll have like a immediate interim recommendations and remediation plan, followed by a longer term, because you can't just do everything overnight. And then what we have is the ongoing taking a look and managing the cost elements, the compliance, as well as other things, and just general support of the platform. And that generally is still more cost effective because you get that managed service as well as the cost reduction. So it still works out better than you were to begin with. So tell us a little bit more about Peruzzi Solutions then, Stephen.
Yeah, so we are a software development company very much focused on the Microsoft platform. We've got a skilled set of developers. There's about 30 of us at the present, working
Amazing.
on projects across Europe. So we've got guys working out of Sweden, the UK. Most of our staff are in Hungary, but they're working on projects for a number of customers, and some of those customers are in Fortune 500. So fairly big, large customers, and we're helping them with their projects and teams, and working in their squads to develop AI and data applications. But within that, we have a lot of expertise around developing for cloud applications on Azure. That's really where our skill sets are. And again, LA.net, what's your focus?
So yeah, ours is all Azure infrastructure. So when it comes to adoption, so the cloud, we use kind of the cloud adoption framework. So when we can help customers who right from the beginning, if they're looking to use a Microsoft platform or migrate to it from on-prem or another cloud, make sure it's all set up correctly, and then also optimization, cost optimization, security optimization, and managed services along with that. So it's more infrastructure based, whereas I think that works really well working with yourself. So we have a mutual customer as well that you guys help them with the application level coding and all that clever stuff that you guys do, and we help them with the security and the infrastructure to make sure they've got the platform that works well for them.
Yeah, and
Uh,
it's a really effective partnership for our customers to be able to have both those skill sets across both companies. So, is
yeah.
there anything else you'd like to add?
From our side, I mean, we've got I mean, in terms of let's just talk about badges and stuff. I think experience. We've got some good large government type customers as well here in the UK. So we've done a lot of secure Azure builds and managed some very secure government environments. Also healthcare as well. We've got our ISO 27001 and 9001, so security and also quality. We are also the infrastructure as your solution partner with Microsoft as well, and I believe you've got two of them, right? You've got two. So
Yeah,
tell us about
so
them.
we've got the data and AI badge, and also the app innovation
Yeah,
accreditation. So,
brilliant.
and I think it's something that we really push with our staff is make sure they get as much Microsoft education as possible. So it's really
Yeah,
taking them on that journey as well.
exactly. And you've got another ISO as well that we haven't got. So haven't you?
Yes,
Got
yeah,
the
well, we've got the ISO
environmental
badges
one,
of
is it?
environmental and security and
It's,
quality as well. Yeah,
yeah. Is that
14,000, and
1400, 14,000? Yeah.
I think, yeah, yeah,
Very good.
yeah.
Very good. So yeah, you're beating us on badges. That's good. Easily done.
Well,
Yeah, nice one.
well, thank you very much,
All
Jeff.
right.
That's been very useful.
Yeah. Good to speak to you,
Yeah,
Stephen. And
yeah.
yeah, take care. So yeah, thanks, Stephen. So yeah, if anyone's interested in learning about saving costs or anything to do with infrastructure or development, you can contact us. The links are below in the comments or in the description. So yeah, we look forward to hearing from you and have a great day.
Take care.